It's got like a negligee feel to it.
That's
you know?
part of it. It's part of
like,
it. I'm happy you said that.
It's like if a cookie was a piece of lingerie, it would be this right here. Just a little skimpy little number here.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
Okay, so you know how Isabella Farah gave a deposition in this case, and one of her big moments was talking about how Justin made her uncomfortable on set. Specifically, there's this cookie dough scene where he directed her to lick a spoon and look up at her co-star, and she said it felt inappropriate. That it had sexual undertones and that the character was 16 and she didn't think it fit. Fine. Okay, I hear you, girl. Because when has a 16-year-old ever been sexually charged? Never. Teenagers are famously neutral creatures with zero hormones and absolutely no interest in making any kind of innuendo with the person they like. Not like that's a massive part of the whole 16-year-old operating system or anything. But sure, a spoon lick was the line that crossed into scandal territory. So anyway, with that very real concern in mind, can someone explain to me why this photo exists? Because that's Isabella with her finger in her mouth doing the exact same thing, and Blake is right there hugging her while it happens. This came from a July 2024 promo video for Blake's Instagram that was produced by Ryan Reynolds' marketing company Maximum Effort. You know, the one she keeps saying had nothing to do with marketing. And in the video, Blake is on camera describing the cookies as like negligee and a skimpy little number, while Isabella does the finger thing for content. So let me make sure I'm following this correctly. When Justin directs a scene that's literally in the book, with an intimacy coordinator standing right there, that's uncomfortable and inappropriate. But when Blake puts you in front of a camera and you do virtually the same thing while baked goods are being compared to lingerie, that's just a fun promo moment?
Right.
Pick a lane. Because right now, the rules seem to change depending on who's holding the camera. And here's the thing about uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is a feeling, and feelings are convenient because nobody can tell you that you didn't have them. You felt uncomfortable? Okay. There's no receipt for that. There's no way to prove what was going on inside your head 18 months ago. But you know what there is a receipt for? That photo and that video. Blake calling cookies negligee while Isabella performs the exact gesture she now says bothered her. Isabella didn't say Justin harassed her. She said she found his direction inappropriate. But she didn't tell anyone at the time, and then she sent thank you texts instead. And then a year later, she recreated the moment for Blake's Instagram, while Blake made it weird with cookie lingerie talk. So which is it? Were you actually bothered, or were you fine until someone told you that you should have been? And can we talk about the other incident she mentioned? Justin was directing an intimate scene, which was literally his job that day. He's behind the camera guiding two actors through a scene that's supposed to convey attraction and chemistry and tension. And after a take, he says something like, "I know I'm not supposed to say this, but that was hot." That's the complaint. The director of a scene designed to be sensual acknowledged that it came across as sensual. What was he supposed to say? Great work? That looked extremely platonic? Perfect? I felt nothing? Congratulations, you two have the chemistry of coworkers at a regional insurance conference? The scene was supposed to be hot. He confirmed it as hot. That's called feedback. But because it's Justin, suddenly it's inappropriate. Now, let's look at what Isabella actually did at the time. She didn't tell Justin she had a problem. She didn't tell anyone at Wayfair. She didn't tell her manager or her agent. She didn't tell the intimacy coordinator, who was literally on set to handle exactly this kind of concern. The only person she mentioned it to was Alex, her co-star, and even that was just in passing. So she was uncomfortable enough to bring it up in a federal deposition 2 years later, but not uncomfortable enough to mention it to literally anyone whose job it was to help.
Oh my God! Wow!
That math isn't mathing. You know what she did do, though? She texted the intimacy coordinator after filming and said, and I'm quoting directly from her deposition exhibit here, "Thank you so much for your help. You were incredible, and given I've never done that before, I felt like it was the easiest thing ever." Easiest thing ever. That doesn't sound like someone walking away shaken. She also texted Justin himself and told him she couldn't have asked for a more welcoming environment, and that he created a safe and comfortable space. These aren't words I'm putting in her mouth. These are her own texts that were produced in Discovery and read back to her under oath. So in June 2023, everything was wonderful. The set was welcoming. The intimacy scenes were easy. She felt safe. She thanked everyone involved. Then Blake Lively started talking to her, and suddenly everything sounds different. Isabella admitted this in her deposition. She said hearing about other people's experiences with Justin validated why she thought things were inappropriate. A group of people saying negative things made her conclusions feel correct. And she literally called her belief that Justin was trying to make them look bad an educated guess. An educated guess. That's the foundation here. Not something she saw, not something she experienced firsthand. A guess based on what other people told her. She didn't think any of this was a big deal at the time. She sent glowing messages, and then later, after others got in her ears, those same experiences became ammunition. Maybe that's not memory changing. Maybe it's perspective shifting. Either way, it didn't start out as a problem. And here's what's wild to me. Isabella wasn't there for Blake's scenes. She didn't witness whatever Blake claims happened. She filmed for about 6 or 7 days total, and Blake was only present for one of those days. But by the time the press tour came around, Isabella was fully on board with the narrative. She was calling Justin the best con artist I have ever witnessed in text messages. She was refusing to do press with him. Funny how the story gets louder the further we get from the actual moment. You can't have it both ways. If the action is inappropriate, why are you doing it for Blake's Instagram? And if it's playful and harmless, why are you testifying that it bothered you when Justin directed it? The answer is obvious. It was never about the action. It was about who was asking. And let's not forget that this scene is literally in the book. Colleen Hoover wrote it. The cookie dough moment is part of the source material. Justin was directing an adaptation and trying to capture what was on the page. But somehow, doing his job became a problem because it's always a problem when Justin does it. Isabella admitted she was new to the industry, working her first major film, caught between two powerful people. One of them cast her in her breakout role. The other is a C-list actress with A-list delusions who was dressing her in her own clothes for press events and pulling her into the inner circle. Which one do you think a young actress trying to make it in Hollywood is going to align herself with? That's not even a question. That's survival. I'm not saying Isabella is lying, but if you decide to say it in the comments, that has nothing to do with me because that's your opinion. But I am saying the narrative around her changed long after the moments themselves did. Her own testimony shows that her conclusions evolved based on what she was hearing from other people later, and by the time she sat for that deposition, she, in my opinion, had been part of Team Blake for over a year. But photographs don't lie. That picture of her recreating the exact thing she claims bothered her tells you everything you need to know about how seriously anyone actually took this at the time. The discomfort didn't look real until it became useful. At this point, it's not testimony. It's loyalty wrapped in hindsight, and the receipts are still posted on Blake's Instagram for anyone who wants to check. But hey, that's just my interpretation of her deposition and the photos that Blake's own social media provided. What do you think? Does I was felt uncomfortable or dismissed hold up? Let me know in the comments. And always remember,
that's my opinion!